Hey everybody, welcome back. It's ProAm-Garage and it's also the 1st of February 2021. Now, I've had a bit of a, I burnt out the end of last year, so that's why I've been pretty slack at getting any content online. Now, we had a mammoth year despite the COVID pandemic and all that sort of stuff. New Zealand here, life is pretty much back to normal and we've been carrying on as per usual. Which means that because people can't travel, they've been spending more money on their cars, so we've been super busy. We've got extra staff, so on top of Joel being here, we now have Jake, which has been great. We've been able to pump out more work, but we've also become increasingly busier. So, but in saying that, we've been getting heaps out the door, so that's been good. Now, there are a few changes happening with some of the projects. One of them you don't know about has been sold. That is actually leaving this week, but I've bought another project which is also arriving this week, so I'm not going to go into details what that is, but it's kind of cool. It's a little bit different, much like everything else that I do, and I know it's not the first time that someone's done this conversion before, but it is it's cool nonetheless, and it's something that I've wanted to do for a very long time. And this car, from what I can tell, is being built very well. So thanks, Matt. This guy, Matt, that I bought it off from down in Dunedin. I was actually tagged in his post when he put it up for sale as a bit of a joke from Brad. So he hinted that I should buy this. I think his exact words were, "Buy this, you dick." And then I went and bought it. So that was a little bit surprising for him, but it worked out well. Now, the other project that I've sold is an FD. I've had in my stock, if you want to call it, for several years. My plans for it, I want to do a really nice job. I wanted to rebuild the whole thing, do a full rebuild video on the car, and put 500 horsepower engine in it and blah blah, all that sort of stuff. But in reality, it's actually a massive job for me to undertake. Now, my time is pretty limited. I've only got sort of 1 or 2 nights that I can to do Pro-Am, plus the workshop type stuff that I video as well, but that's more customer related. So realistically, for me to build a project of that level with that amount of work needed, I just don't have the time and resources to do it. Plus I'd need to sink in about $40,000 or so of my own money, and then only to sell it for like 50 grand or something like that. So my profit to come back off it at this point, I don't really see a good in terms of the amount of effort that I have to put into it. I mean, it'd be cool for the content version side of things, but at the same time, it's just it's not economical for me in my time, in my life at this point in time. But this other project, it's far further along. It's been new paint jobs, roll cage, and a bunch of other stuff. That looks like it's been done really well. I've been sent a million photos by the current owner Matt of the full build, so I'm pretty confident that what's turning up sight unseen is actually in pretty good condition. So we'll do a full video of that when it arrives. We'll get on the hoist, we'll walk through it, show you everything that's been done, and then we can hopefully start to get that underway. Now, I was hoping to get maybe that ready for reunion, but that's 2 weeks away and it's just physically not enough time. I would need to work on that car probably 2 weeks 2 weeks solid day and night for it to actually come to fruition and be possible. And again, I just don't have the time, I don't have the funds or anything to do that at this point in my life, so it's just going to take time. Now, the other project that we've got, one of them is being sold. So 2 projects are going, one's coming in. And the reason the other project is going is because, how do I say this? It's a project that I've wanted to do, and that's why I bought it, but it's a big job also. And funny enough, the car that I've bought actually has the components that I was looking for to use in this other project anyway. So it's kind of like, well, it's kind of along the same lines, but at the same time, it's just going to be an easier thing for me to finish and do. So I'm essentially combining 2 projects into one. Anyway, so I'll touch base on that at a later date once the car turns up this week. Now, the next on the list is the Skyline. So the Skyline is getting a new engine. It's getting a different engine, so that means this engine's coming out of it and I'm going to be putting it into my FD. Yeah, so that means new engine for the Skyline, which means new manifolds, new everything for the new engine that's going in it, new fabrication. Yeah, fuel system I think can probably stay for the most part, but it also means that I get to tidy up a bunch of other things that I haven't been able to fix up until now, or just not motivated to fix it. Then with my FD, so okay, other camera's dying. My other FD, so yeah, engine from the Skyline's going into that. I've got, you know, a new turbo going on it. I've got manifold and all that sort of stuff. I've already got the ECU. I've already got most of the components to do that. So V-mount intercooler I'll make and all that sort of thing. So yeah, I just need to decide on the body kit. It's currently got a RMEMIA ADGT kit on it. But it is a knockoff, so when I had it installed it looks cool, but when you get up close to it you can see the fitment isn't that great. It's a little bit wavy in sections, so yeah, I'm just sort of undecided whether I persevere with that or either get a genuine one or just go back to a factory sort of style body, which I'm, you know, I don't want to cut into the guards. It is wide body, but you know, only like 25mm each side. But if I have to cut into the factory guards, I think that's going to be my stopping point. Mainly because like, these cars, they're appreciating. And they're going to be worth more in the future with more stock body panels and stuff. So if someone wants to buy that as a collector's car, then they can, you know, in the future, then it's not destroyed like a Rocket Bunny kit would do, for example. Like you have to hack up the front and rear guards to make that, you know, all work together. So yeah, just deciding on what I want to do with that, but that can come later in the piece. I can do the fabrication, I can get it up and running, I can dyno tune it, you know, all that sort of stuff will be fine. Now the Mini, I've been really demotivated and I burnt out at the end of last year, and that's, you know, why I am here telling you what I'm telling you. We just had too much on, I had too much on my plate, plus a bunch of other stuff going on in my life, and I just needed a break. So here we are. Moving on, I've had some motivation from some friends who have finished their projects or at least done some substantial things to them. Mike, for example, he's managed to paint his Supra, and yeah, he's pulled the V12 out of it temporarily so he can drive it for the summer, and the 2JZ will come back out of it and the V12 will go back into it for more fabrication and stuff like that. But it's given me motivation to want to do more stuff on the Mini. Now the Mini has kind of been like a me and Mike thing. He's actually getting married shortly, so yeah, he's actually not going to be free until the end of March or around March somewhere. So yeah, I kind of want to keep that project for me and Mike because it's kind of fun thing for me and him to do. Yeah, but we'll see. It just comes down to how much time he's got available and stuff like that, so we can work on it together. What else we got? We've got a bunch of projects here, guys. We've got an FD here, we've got an FD here. They're both going this week. They're both in for different things. One's got a V8 in it and the other's got a factory 13B. We've got a JZ80 Supra here. We've got a MA70 Supra here with a 7M GTE, not a 1M. We've done a whole bunch of custom stuff on that. The JZ80 is getting a single turbo upgrade and all that sort of thing. We've got the 240Z with the 2JZ, so I'm going to do more fabrication on that. So I'm going to build the turbo manifold, downpipe and all that sort of stuff, and then we can hopefully order the Hypertune manifold. We have a MX-5 Miata down the back that's getting a 13B turbo. The gearbox is now back, so now that we can look at installing that, making the engine mounts and all that sort of stuff, getting all the turbo fabrication, everything done. Yeah, we've got this old Jag thing that we've been working on. We hopefully hear back from the company in America for parts for that. But you know, that's sort of, a lot of that's long-term stuff. We've got a bunch of small-term, sort of short-term stuff coming through. So it's like a revolving door. We're pretty flat out. So that's another reason I guess I've been pretty tired. You just, you know, when you do this day in, day out for a job, you do lose your motivation, and I don't know if I've lose the passion, but definitely the motivation to sort of work late nights and stuff like that, because you get tired, so and demotivated. But anyway, looking forward to 2021 and what it has to bring in terms of the content we can bring to you. the cool projects that we're doing, and the amount of money that we can spend, yeah, which is probably going to be quite a bit. Yeah, as behind me are a whole bunch of parts for an FD. I've pulled down from the roof, ready to go on this other car, which is being shipped off this week to Wellington. Yeah, so it's pretty full on. So look, I'm excited about the projects that we've got. I'm excited about driving my FD again. As much as the Skyline is cool, it's not my baby. It's not my FD, which is the car that I've missed driving the most. So every time I drive one of these things, you know, I think of my own car and how much I miss it. So I'm really looking forward to driving that again. Yeah, this new project, it's one thing that I've been wanting to do for a very long time. Like, for as long as I can remember, when I started doing engine conversions, it was one car I always wanted to do. And I'm so stoked that I've got the opportunity to buy one, and buy a really, really nice one, from what I can tell. Yeah, and of course the Mini, again, it's been pushed back again and again, so now I think I've been building that for 4 or 5 years. So yeah, it's I kind of want to get a bit more of a push on that, and at least get the bodywork done on it. Maybe make the adapter plate for the new gearbox, because we're no longer using the FD one, blah 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 blah. Yeah, apart from that, I'm going to stop waffling. Yeah, hey, thanks heaps for watching. I'm going to leave it there. If you've got any questions about any of the projects that we're doing, then it'd be great to hear from you. Oh, the other thing that I wanted to mention was, last video that I did, I mentioned, I asked what power rating you think this would be, and I'll do a bit of a giveaway. So I'm still going to do that. So I just need to get this video out there. I'll do another edit of another video, and then I'll pick a winner of that, and then I'll tell you what I'm giving away. So I'll probably try to get more organized in terms of what we're going to be giving away. At the moment, look, honestly, we're doing all of this out of our own pockets, or mainly my pockets. So what we do give away will probably be small, but hey, look, we can all try and give away free stuff as much as we can. And I think it sort of, you know, helps you guys want to engage more and stuff like that. So yeah, it's good. Anyway, so I'll do the giveaway next video after this one, and yeah, and then we'll try and keep doing them as much as we can. But yeah, give us some feedback, give us some questions in terms of our projects, and what you like to see and what you don't like to see, and all that sort of stuff. We're really, really good to get some feedback. It's 2021, so let's make the most of it, and we'll see you soon.